with Tao. Every moment life is slipping out of your hand and you are not aware of it. Every moment something is slipping out of your hand. An opportunity, a moment slipping out of your hand. I have heard an anecdote. It was the Conservative Party in England. Lord Mancroft of Conservative Party was invited to speak. He came on time, reached to the rostrum, and addressing to the public. As he was addressing to the public, he looked a little bit flabbergasted. And he said, "Forgive me for shortening my speech a little, but the fact is that my house is on fire." He looked somewhat flabbergasted and said, "Forgive me for shortening my speech a little, but my house is on fire." And for that matter, everyone's house is on fire. Your house is also on fire, but you don't even seem a little flabbergasted because every moment an opportunity is slipping out of your hand. A moment that could be a moment of awakening is slipping out of your hand. Everyone's house is on fire and you are not aware. Not aware of death, not aware that you are just passing, that your life is just slipping out of your hand. Every moment you are dying, every moment you are losing the opportunity which cannot be regained. The moment lost can never come back. The time that is lost is lost. Nothing can be done to regain that moment, and your life is becoming shorter and shorter with every moment as it passes. This is what is meant when it is said your house is on fire, but you do not seem even a little flabbergasted. You don't even seem to be worried about it. You are not aware of the fact that your house is on fire. Everybody's house is on fire. The fact is there, but your attention is somewhere else, not there. And everybody thinks there is enough time to do something. There is not enough time, my friend, because whatsoever has to be done now. Whatsoever has to be done is so much that the time is never enough. Once it happened, the devil was waiting for years and years, and nobody was coming to help. He was waiting to welcome people, but earth was running so well and people were so good that no one was coming to help. Of course, devil became very worried He called an emergency meeting, emergency council. His greatest disciple gathered together to discuss the situation. Hell was passing through a great crisis, and this could not be tolerated. Something has to be done. So he asked for advice. What should we do? Because nobody is coming to hell. One disciple suggested, I would go to the earth and I would talk to the people and try to convince that there is no God, there is no religion, and all the religions are false, and whatsoever the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas say is all nonsense. One of the disciples of devil advised. Devil said this won't do. Because we have been doing this since the very beginning, and it has not influenced people very much. Though through such teachings, you can convince only a few who are already convinced. So this will not work and it is of no use. It is not of much use. Then the second disciple, who was subtler than the first, said, I will go and teach people and try to convince people that whatsoever the Bible, the Quran and Vedas say is right. There is heaven, there is God, but there is no devil and no hell. So don't be afraid. And if we can make them less afraid, they will not bother about religion at all, because all religions are based on fear. We go to the temple because there is fear in us. The devil said, your proposal is somewhat better. You may succeed in convincing minority only, but the majority will not listen to you. They are not as much afraid of hell as they are greedy. There is greed to go to the heaven. Even if you convince them there is no hell, they will still want to enter into the heaven, and they will try to be good for that. So this won't do much either. Then the third disciple stood up. He was subtlest of them all. I have an idea, he said. Give me a chance to try it. I will go and say that whatever religions say is absolutely true. There is God, there is devil, and there is heaven and hell. But there is no hurry. And the devil said, right. You have the right system. You go. There is heaven, there is hell, there is God, there is devil. And you have plenty of time, so you don't have to worry about anything. And devil said, right, you have the right system, you go. And it is said, since then, There have never been a crisis in hell. Rather, they are worried about overpopulation. This is how the human mind works. He thinks. This is how the human mind works. We always think there is no hurry. These techniques, the methods we are talking about, or Shiva spoke to Devi, will be of no use if your mind thinks there is no hurry. You have to think that your house is on fire and you have to come out of the house as soon as possible. Immediately, there is no time for you. But if you think there is time, then everything will perish. Time and tide waits for none. Time and tide waits for none. You have to think that your house is on fire. You have no next moment. You have to come out this very moment. But this is how the mind is. Mind thinks that mind is, in a way, represents devil. There is no hurry. There is enough time. What is the rush? We can do it tomorrow. We can do it tomorrow. If your mind thinks there is no hurry, then you can go on postponing and death will come first. That day will not come when you think you are in a rush. When you think that now is the moment, it has come, that now the moment has come, you cannot go on postponing. This is what we are. We have been doing all our lives. You have to be decisive to do this, to do something. You are in crisis. The house is on fire. Life is always on fire because death is always there, hidden behind it. Any moment. And you may or may not be anymore. And you cannot argue with death. When it comes, it comes. It doesn't wait. You cannot argue with death. You cannot do anything when death happens. It happens. It happens. Time is very short. Even if you live for 70 years or for 100 years, it is still short. What you have to do with yourself to transform, to mutate, to become a new being is such a great work. You cannot postpone it. This very moment. Flower blossoms this very moment. Life is now and here. Only this much for this morning until we come back again. Take care and do have a pleasant day.